And welcome back to Sonic 4 Episode 2 Part 2, the second part. I couldn't think of any other, two jokes, and I just ran out immediately. Welcome to White Park.
Is this the only snow stage in a Sonic 2D game? I've never seen a 2D game of a snow stage.
Well, that's because we haven't gotten to Sonic 3 yet, ironically. Sonic 3 has the most infamous snow stage, and technically, wait, yes you have. There's one in Sonic Advance, and then there's another one in Sonic Advance 2.
I was about to say, something in Sonic Advance 2 sounds very familiar. You'd think having Sonic run from an avalanche would be something that happens fairly often.
Yeah, well, it's technically you were snowboarding in that part. Oh man, and the thing is about this stage is that it is so incredibly obvious when you've messed up. And just the windows, because you have tails, the windows for reaction for getting on the top path, I feel are smaller. So with all of that, it's just...
Is this a fusion of a snow stage and a casino stage?
No, it's not a casino stage, it's an amusement park stage as well, but we're in the snow,
No, but I mean, you know how casinos usually in quotes, and they'd replace casino with something similar.
Well, no, as in your
casino stage.
Let's put it this way. I understand your sentiment, but in this case it doesn't apply. You'll see once we get to the other act. The thing is, as I was saying, is that when you basically go down in this stage to the bottom path, you feel it, you see it. It's you just keep plummeting, and then there is clearly a part where you're going back and forth while going up. While we're completely sure that the top path would just be a straight, well, not a straight line, but a straight shot provided you did well enough on the platform. You see right there, if I had activated Tails, I'm sure I wouldn't have to go through that very winding bottom path.
Like a mid-boss? That's such an interesting concept.
Sonic Rush does that too much, but here I'm trying to just but Tails gets on it and ruins it. Wow, that brings back memories, huh?
That's basically how Sonic works.
Well, that's basically how our Sonic 2 playthrough works.
Exactly.
Anyways, just with all this, you just have to keep... It's so obvious that you're just going lower. But oh well. The thing is that and I've noticed this on Sonic Mania, I'm not sure if it's deliberate, but a lot of the wackier, Easter eggs, if you call them that, or mechanics or whatever, are usually on the lower paths rather than the higher ones. The higher ones usually have one big thing in the background that you can see, or as a reference, but the lower paths have, for example, with in Studiopolis, the picture of Eggman dancing in an old-timey TV style format on the televisions.
So that giant Ferris wheel is basically the Eggman dancing.
Well, that giant Ferris wheel just been... The stuff has been always seen in the background. This is the end. We're going to end here anyways.
Yeah, but I mean... You said something along the lines of... Actually, I lost my train of thought.
I was saying that you'll see very specific, in Sonic Mania at least, it's obvious that you'll see very specific references or quirky parts of the stage, usually on middle to the lower paths, but not on the top paths.
Oh, I thought you said that the top path had that big central thing.
No, I'm saying that the top path in Sonic Mania usually does still have a reference, but it's one and it's easy and it's huge and easy to see, but that's it. That is what I said.
Oh, I think we said the same thing in different ways. Or we said the same thing but we meant different things.
Well, it's not, because of course this isn't something filled with references or with nearly as much love as Sonic Mania. I can't there's not a lot of examples in this case.
Right.
Of course, there's not a lot of transitionary things with the backgrounds for a lot of these games, though. Usually it's the same almost all the way through. And I kind of wish that there was more transitionary stuff in the background. Like, of course, it would change the stuff around there'd be changes in the level design, but the background would also facilitate that. It's different than just saying like, okay, now you're outside the chemical plant, now you're inside the chemical plant. Different than that.
Yeah.
Like say if you were in
connected.
Like say if you were in Hilltop Zone, and the path would just naturally go down. Then the background would go farther down into the clouds until the background is like mostly cloudy, and you're seeing the parts of the mountains that you didn't see before.
So how about you rate that train of thought using this current background we have right now?
That's just the thing. It's big and it's bombastic look and everything, but we're still not going anywhere, it feels like. I mean, okay. That's kind of thing, it's not like it's going to loop, but I'm more so mean that there's not going to be any big significant change in what's going on there. Like, remember how in Generations, the chemical plant slowly started coming apart as you ran through it?
That was great.
Yeah, that's the stuff I'm talking about. But the thing is, in the 2D games, there is barely any of that. Also, this stage specifically, it's
also
way more dangerous than I'm making it look. But the thing about this stage is that hesitation is your absolute enemy. You usually are given in just enough time to understand what's going on to make the right call, but they will crush you if you hesitate. There's a lot of crushing death that we barely avoided in that stage.
I will give it this. Running from an avalanche and running on theme park tracks are two things that it's really weird has only come up with this late.
Well, remember, again, Ice Cap, and
did you run from avalanches in that, or did they just exist?
I think you. I'm not sure if you ran from avalanches, but I know you snowboarded down mountains. I'm not sure, but in Sonic 3, there's also Carnival Night, which is more like the Carnival Estate here. Except, with more traditional carnival stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Sonic 3 has all the stuff we're talking about. We just surprisingly haven't gotten to it.
So, when's the point? What number is this again? I'm wondering, when's the point? Do these get super difficult?
I think if I remember correctly, this is number 4. The super difficult ones, I think it's 6 and 7. I'm not remembering 5 giving me too much grief. But 7 definitely is just the worst, the absolute worst. Unfortunately,
when you said 7 is the absolute worst, I lost my train of thought and thought you were talking about Mario Kart 7.
What?
Compared to Mario Kart DS. I'm like, yeah.
What are you?
Mario Kart DS is so much more superior than Mario Kart 7. It's the worst.
How did you get to... What?
Earlier today, I saw a video about Mario Kart DS, and I was reminded about how great Mario Kart DS is.
Okay. It just
And
really
when you
pervaded
talked
you
about
there.
7, I remembered about the conversation, not the conversation, the thing I had earlier today. And it's funny because I've played a bunch of 8 Deluxe. And, well, no, not 8 Deluxe. I've played a bunch of 8, which plays exactly the same as 8. Well, no, it doesn't, since 8 Deluxe changes how items work.
I don't remember. But continue.
No, I mean, I'm saying, first you have 2 items, secondly, you can't hold items behind your back.
Oh yeah, that.
But yeah, so I don't know the specifics of 8 Deluxe, but I played a bunch of 8. So now I can safely say that Mario Kart DS and 8 are the best ones.
Well, alright, but now we're adding water into this mix. Beautiful.
I have to admit that's interesting. Like this is such a unique zone. Like the idea of a common theme holding a zone together rather than a common climate or set piece is a great idea.
Unfortunately, this has one of the worst. Would I call this level design? One of the worst enemies in the game. Those suicidal seals. They will blow ice breath and bring up chunks of indestructible ice that will just block off your path, block off any sort of path if you don't go through them quick enough. Unfortunately, there is one section at the near the end, just to add insult to injury, where they have a whole bunch of them, but they're in the way of the main path. Meaning that if something happens to stop you, well, you're just going to be stuck between 2 blocks of ice, and you're literally not going to be able to save yourself. Like, under any circumstance.
Yeah. I find it strange. But I guess no. What I'm about to say is weird that chemical plant is so heavily water based, and yet it's only the second one. But I remember chemical plant has nothing like this, but chemical plant has other sections as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a new thing.
Oh, it's not this section. I was like, we're not close to the end yet. Oh, very nice. Thank you. I would have totally seen that guy coming. Tails, please, cooperate. This is about this real superpower of teamwork here. Stop doing that.
Oh, my bad.
Ugh. But, what else? What was I had a point, other than just that enemy placement thing there. Alright. Unfortunately, this doesn't do what I was expecting it to do. I was fully expecting White Park Act 3 to... Oh, jeez. That was close. White Park Act 3 to blend the roller coaster and the snow together. But they don't really do that. Also, that block comes down way too fast and can just crush you easily when your momentum's already down. Very, very nice design, guys.
Yeah, I'm seeing some... Wait. I was about to say I'm seeing some slight margins of error when it comes to where cats are letting people sleep. And I'm thinking, what does that have to do with anything? Like my mind is gone.
Oh, we finally have
and I'm
official
100% sure that I was paying attention to what you were saying, and while talking about the fact that I was about to comment on it, I just completely forget everything.
Well, I'm sure your cat. Is this the part?
This looks ridiculous. So wait, he can swim indefinitely?
Yeah, that's what I said that in the first part. Swimming is indefinite, flying is not.
Okay.
Yeah, if you stop for any reason, or like if you're too low and you accidentally like hit it, you're just trapped there. In fact, as they just left a life there, just in a little alcove with no obstacles whatsoever. Just because they probably knew that you, in panic, would have probably died there back then.
I mean, that's nice of them.
Yeah, but
Right.
after the whole thing. It's more like an after apology rather than... Then again, I kind of don't... Oh wait, no, this one sucks too. Forget what I said. 5, 6, 7, they all suck.
Okay.
Look at all the
Oh,
stuff I'm
that's-
doing, man. Crazy stuff. Not to mention there's certain points where you have to boost, because yes, you can boost in these now. And boosting attracts rings to you, kind of like boosting in normal games. Unfortunately, that's you going super speed in things where there are bombs that will get rid of your rings. So I'm sure there are speed runs where people just go super boost from the beginning and somehow manage to pass this. Because technically, as I said, doing a speedrun of this is much easier normally, because as long as you stop yourself right before getting to the check point, then you can retry. So theoretically, I could just do a trial and error of constantly trying to boost through this kind of stuff and see how well I do. Also, I hate these things because
Those individual buttons, it's ridiculous.
well, they give you you still keep the rings that you collect in those points, but they give you a ring bonus if you get all the rings they said to get. Unfortunately, stage 7 is filled with the literal last part of stage 7, even after you get through the second part, which is one of the most bullcrap parts. In fact, no, it is the most bullcrap part. The last part of Special Stage 7 involves only that. Only small amounts of those things where you need the bonuses to continue. It sucks so much. Oh hey, he finally caught up to us.
I was about to say, this reminds me of a fight. This does remind me of a fight from Mania Deluxe. Did you know that the Mania has different bosses?
Yeah, I know that Mania has different bosses. Unfortunately, I don't think they're... Because the expansion has come to PC too. But I don't think that there's enough for me... for us to safely make another commentary without going through basically
It would be harmful.
It would be hard to do because there are stuff changed. Yes, there's enough change to make enough of a discussion, but not enough to go throughout the entire game, I think. Also, wow, because I clearly could have seen that coming. Thank you. Literally just...
So this is Little Planet.
No, it's not.
No,
Little
it's
Planet
not.
is in
But
the
I mean,
background,
it's
remember?
evilized. It's the evilized zone that's giving its power to Little Planet.
Well, yeah, but don't you see Little Planets in the background again?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It can't be Little Planet because there's Little Planet.
Yeah. So the thing is with the Metal Sonic stuff, at least in this game, he becomes a recurring boss of sorts. He has two boss fights, two general boss fights, and so does Eggman. So it's just like a general thing, which I think just having an equal amount is good enough. They do something similar with another robot called Jamerl in Sonic Advance 3, but we'll see what his deal is there because I don't like actually using up all the talking that I would usually use to explain stuff in those games.
You know what's frustrating?
That is?
A lot of the flashy lights in the background paired with Little Planet looks like a person.
Are you okay?
No, it looks like the Sphinx. That's what I was about to say. For some reason,
The Sphinx.
the background and Little Planet itself merged into an image that looked like the Sphinx. And the first thing I thought was, there's no way someone who hasn't seen that with their very eyes will understand what I'm trying to explain.
Oh, you are correct. That is completely
And
true.
so yeah, that's a problem. So I don't know how to explain. I mean, yeah, I
Sphinx.
can't. The inner SpongeBob coat of my mind is an enigma. Hello? Yeah, you're